Like, yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people. Ready to give you my review on Dragon Ball Super, episode 65. So, as usual, since I actually watched episode 7 o'clock my time, obviously I'm watching it raw, and credit must go to Herms for giving the translations here, as usual. Herms98 on Twitter. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. So this episode's title is Final Judgment, the Supreme God's Ultimate Power. Now, this episode was, I'm not gonna lie, it especially in the first half of this episode, it really felt as if they were dragging along. It's probably, I wouldn't say unnecessary. I don't even know what to say, honestly. But it really did drag along in the first half. We got a lot of interaction between the human characters, the remnants of the resistance, essentially. And what was kind of ridiculous, like throughout a lot of the first half of this episode, we just have merged Zamasu in the air in that one pose, essentially, from last episode. So it was kind of ridiculous. So as we get into the episode, the first half, that is, we have Zamasu basically, obviously, due to his nature, he's gonna brag about his immortal body and his supreme ultimate power. But he pulls out this new technique in which he shoots out some red spears of ki, and once they hit the ground, they explode after. I thought that was really neat, and apparently it's called the Spears of Judgment. So I guess it further adds to this guy's god complex. I mean, he is a god, so yeah. But yeah, so eventually we do get to see the effects of Zamasu's attacks. It's basically causing the resistance members and the remaining humans to, I guess, one of them, I guess, they basically run up to the surface, essentially, which was a pretty, probably not such a good idea, because as soon as they get to the surface, one of Zamasu's attacks just kills one of them. Random citizen A, let's call him that. But yeah, so we have Goku and Vegeta trying to go in there, and obviously they're they're not making much headway. And eventually we get to see Trunks does flee the air with Bulma and Mai, and he obviously Trunks isn't gonna want to stay back, so he basically suggests to Mai that he's going back to help out, and Mai apparently gives him the remaining two senzu beans. I don't know if he used them on his way back or not, but yeah. So after that, Vegeta is basically pissed off because really and truly, Zamasu is just playing with him, honestly. This shouldn't even be a fight. Like, this should have been over in like 0.1 seconds. So we got a lot of dialogue in the remainder of this first half in terms of how they can beat him. Goku, Vegeta, and the Supreme Kai is just looking up at him. And basically we got more dialogue from Zamasu talking about how he's like the wisdom and the power of the universe, essentially. And we get some interesting shots when Zamasu's essentially banging up the place. I really like the shots of the lava coming from under the ground, his power affecting the weather. We get to see Android 8, which that was a pretty awesome cameo there. Let me see if I can remember who else was there. Yeah, we got to see Kame House and Turtle, which was cool as well. But I especially like this shot in the first half because that scene in particular when the lava spewing out of the ground and that end of the world feel. I mean, 1,000 people by now probably have said it, but Super is situated in that 10-year time skip. So we know at the end of the 10 years, unless they're retconning it, everybody's safe. So that sense of tension may not be there when you really look at the grand scale of things where the series is concerned. But really and truly, in at least this one moment, that scene, it really felt like our heroes were in a dire situation, which I like, honestly, because some people would complain that even the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, there's no real tension, but that's debatable. But yeah, that scene was totally awesome. Um, I think before the first half was done, we got a scene of Trunks helping out more of the human resistance. Really and truly, yeah. I mean, it does sound like this first half. I don't know. It just could have been paced better. I know they're dragging it out for especially next week, but it just felt like the pacing was a bit. Yeah, it wasn't. To me, it kind of took away from the episode because I'm coming into this episode expecting some crazy shit, which some crazy shit did happen, but I mean, like this first half just made it kind of feel well, at least the half of the first half, the first quarter, I guess, it made things kind of feel underwhelming. But we quickly pick up in the second half. After Zamasu basically knocks out, well, it doesn't knock out. It gives the impression that he knocks out Goku and Vegeta with the Spear of Judgment. They like he hits them and they instantly drop to their base form. And I'm like, oh shit, this is serious. This had no chance. And they get back up, they transform back into Super Saiyan Blue. Vegeta says that Saiyans have no limits. Zamasu makes this crazy owl, or if it's not owl, there's a bird out of Ki, and it's totally sick to see. Zamasu, where Ki manipulation is concerned, my hat's off to him, man. It's just cool to see some new shits in Dragon Ball. Even if it's not really new, it's just really a nice twist, a new play on how Ki is used, and I like it. And even the white ring that he was using, that he's been using this episode, even when he actually, I guess, summoned that in the beginning of the episode, that was cool to see as well. So Goku and Vegeta go full power and try charging through the, I guess, T-Bird, and they manage to do that, surprising Zamasu a bit. And they go in, they try punching from both sides. Zamasu blocks it with no problem at all. And he does this weird, I don't know, it just, you remember like when Goku used the Kaioken times 10 in the Universe 6 versus 7 arc? And after he returned to his base form, he was convulging his muscles and all that. It kind of reminded me of that. Like Zamasu sends out this electricity through their hands, and then he basically takes them out essentially. I don't remember, was it with the Spear of Judgment? I think. But after, yeah, he basically blasts them away after this, and it just seems like they really stand no chance, and I like that because we know Potara Fusion is crazy powerful. So after this, Zamasu declares the start of a new universe. Well, a new chapter in the universe. I stand corrected there. And Trunks comes in at this point, and he transforms back into, as I call it, pseudo Super Saiyan Blue. And he charges Zamasu with his sword. Of course, this doesn't work, and it's really at this point of the episode that we start. I guess the animation really improves, because before it wasn't all that. Like the models and the animation wasn't. It just didn't seem good to me. As in, I know they're saving the budget for next episode. I'll get to that when I'm finished going through this here. But yeah, but the animation and the character models steadily improve from this point out. And yeah, so we have Trunks going in with the sword. Of course, it doesn't work. I think the sword was broken. I think Zamasu does break it. And after this, he knocks Trunks down. Trunks gets back up, and then in true, I guess, shown in an anime fashion, remembering, I guess, all the people he's fighting for, Trunks declares that sorry. He's not gonna let Zamasu have his way, essentially, and he charges up a Galick gun, fires it, Zamasu fires out a blast, and we have our iconic clash, what should I say? Energy struggle, yeah, beam struggle, let's go with that. So yeah, and this scene is absolutely, as in, it's amazing to see. And even some of the scenes in this episode, especially when Goku and Vegeta went full power to charge through the Keyboard, I'm tracking back here, when they start playing that soundtrack there, it's been playing throughout this arc. But I must say, this soundtrack throughout this Goku Black arc has been top notch. I really like that. It really does add to the epicness and the tone. So yeah, so Trunks is going in there with a Galick gun, and he's not making much headway. So Vegeta is still up, comes in, fires a Galick gun as well. We have what? A father-son Galick gun? Hmm. Yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah, which was cool to see. And one thing I like about this episode, it kind of, in a way, it's reminiscent of two instances. One versus that's the Brawly movie, the second one, when they had the Kamehameha struggle with Brawly, and when Goku used Kaioken times 20, and plus the Kamehameha against Frieza, because somehow Vegeta and Trunks they managed to get through with the Galick gun, and of course Zamasu isn't defeated, but it's just his stance, the way he blocked it. It just reminds me of when Frieza, had his hand out and essentially stopped the Kaioken times 20 Kamehameha. So that's the kind of cool instances that this episode reminded me of. And after that, Zamasu just gets pissed and starts. He fires a Spear of Judgment towards Trunks. Vegeta steps in the way. Oh, and even one thing to know, even before the smoke cleared after the beam struggle, Vegeta looked at Trunks with this look of he's just so proud of his son, and I like that. It really adds to Vegeta's character. It's a constant reminder of how far Vegeta's character has come, and I really like that. So, yeah, so back to where I was. So Vegeta gets taken out, and his clothes are ripped now. So like his armor is basically gone essentially. And this is like one of the first times I'm really seeing this degree of, I guess, clothes destruction, because Super hasn't really been doing that much, if at all. And it was kind of cool to see that it kind of just really remind me of the Z days or even the Z movies when Goku would lose his shirt. And I guess in a weird way, yes, it does really represent how serious this situation is. Like the tension is definitely there, and that's one thing I like about this episode. This episode really builds great tension, so that's definitely a plus for it. So if after that now, um, Zamasu turns to Goku and he basically clears he'll wipe all of them out. And then Goku gets ready. He's charging a Kamehameha. Zamasu has this I wouldn't say Spear of Destruction like Beerus, but he's ready. He has his index finger and his middle finger and he's charging a blast. Goku fires, he fires, and their episode ends on beam struggle, and that's your episode. So yeah, pretty crazy, I know. This episode was the pacing really took away from it, and definitely the animation and character models from the first half. But it does redeem itself to a degree throughout the second half, with awesome scenes. I guess in a sense callbacks to the Namek arc and the Brawly movie, if you even consider that second Brawly movie good. Yeah, it was just cool to see the second half. We got some great characterization from Vegeta there, as I mentioned, after that being the father-son Galick gun. And yeah, all in all, it was. Oh yeah, and as I mentioned, it does. This episode does do a good job of building the tension. So, what do I rate this episode? It's okay. It's okay. It has its place in. What the heck is that? Sorry about that. But yeah, this episode does have its place. It has its place. It does its job in preparing us, I guess showing us how much of a threat Merge Zamasu can be. And for what it's worth, it was okay. It was an okay episode. I still liked it, of course. And yeah, but really getting into it, that preview for next week episode, who is hyped? If you haven't watched the episode, if you haven't seen the preview, you need to you need to see it. Yes, that's right, people. Vegito has arrived, Super Saiyan Blue, and Of course, the animation and model problems I saw in this episode, the next episode preview alone is a reason for why that had to be done. They were saving the budget, people. Next episode is looking legit. Vegito versus Merge Zamasu, the ultimate clash of gods. I can't wait. It looks crazy. It even seems that Merge Zamasu going all out is even giving Vegito problems. But that's to be expected because Zamasu, at the end of the day, even if Vegito's strong, he's still immortal. And I just can't wait. It's gonna be epic. Oh man. This episode, next episode, God, this arc is it's ending. It seems to be ending on a great note. We more than likely only have a few episodes left. I'm estimating probably about, I don't know, I would say 4 to 5, because to me, I'm thinking that even though Zamasu has stated that there's zero morals plan, apart from the obvious killing everybody, I think we need to, like, an episode, or at least, yeah, half an episode to say the least, to get some more context, more depth to this plan. I mean, he kills everybody, he kills the gods. What's the end goal? What's this new world he's trying to accomplish? Is it a world he's gonna make just a bunch of copies of himself? I don't know. It's crazy, but we need to get more on that. Um, we're expecting some awesome fight scenes based on the preview, and man, I hope you enjoyed this review because I am hyped for next episode. I hope you enjoyed this. Like this review if you did. Share your comments below. I'm hoping we can start having some discussions on the upcoming episodes. Share this video out. I know this review is a bit lengthy, but it had to be done. Hey, this is Sanjay Uchiha out, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, of course you'll see me in the next one. Hopefully. Alright, see you guys. See you in the next one.